Hi, it's Lynn Manwar here, and I'm going to share my story as part of Megan Alexandria's Oates Share Your Story campaign. So, I am a two-time cancer survivor. I was first told that I could possibly have cancer just a week after university graduation in fall of 1996. And in spring of 1997, it was confirmed that I had cancer, thyroid cancer specifically, after I had had a thyroid surgery to remove a few nodules from my neck. And, as a young adult, I was only 24. It was very shocking. But at the time, what happened is I had the thyroid surgery. I accepted a job in Japan, and then I was told I had cancer. And I left the office crying, going, "Oh my gosh, I can't go to Japan anymore." I was so upset. I was more upset at the time about not being able to go to Japan, possibly, than having cancer. So I had a second surgery, and then I had a radioactive iodine treatment whereby I was isolated in the hospital for 3 days. And at that point in time, I really just had a resolve. I said, you know what? Um, I'm still going to make my dreams happen. I'm 24. I just finished school. I'm going to live and work in Japan for a year. So I sat in that hospital bed and I visualized the year ending, whereby I completed my year in Japan. The government of Japan was shaking my hand. I received recognition and I made it happen. So, 3 weeks after radioactive iodine treatment, I flew to live and work 1 year in Japan. And what was exciting is that I actually was based in Nagano, and that was during the Nagano Winter Olympic Games. So I did not let cancer stop me the first time around. And I went to the opening ceremony of the Winter Olympic Games. I traveled around Japan, I traveled around Asia, and then came back to Canada eventually. So I actually survived my first cancer experience. And, you know, things, life was rocking for 14 years practically. So that was in 1997. And then in 2011, December, I went into my doctor's office. We had found a lump in my breast, but since the age of 30, have been checked rigorously for any lumps, bumps in my breast. And then we found something a little more hard, so we checked it out. And when I went into my doctor's office, she said, "You have a malignant tumor in your right breast, and you have to start treatment right away." And it was very shocking, and it came out of the blue. I was very, taken aback. And so at that point in time, it was December 20th, just a few days before Christmas. On Christmas Day, I said, "Mom, I need to be by myself." So I went to church, crying my eyes out. And then after, went to a restaurant to eat by myself. And then I sort of came up with a plan of action because I had found out a few days earlier that when you do chemo treatment, you actually have to, you don't have to do something, but you actually may go into early menopause as a young woman. So that was quite shocking for me. And at the time, I was more upset about, the potentiality of losing my fertility options. So I, gained a strong resolve to pursue fertility preservation, and I came up with my plan of action. So instead of weeping, I said tears is only going to take me so far. I decided, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start researching and start contacting all these fertility clinics. And 8 days later, after being told I had cancer a second time around, I flew to Israel and to go to a trip in Jerusalem with my family. I said, cancer is not going to stop me from going on my family holiday. So I went on my family holiday. It was perfect timing. I got to be in a place where I prayed. I had a renewed sense of faith, hope, everything. And I came back. And then I saw a few doctors. Then I met a fertility specialist. And I decided to delay my chemo experience and go for fertility preservation. So for 2 weeks, every morning I would go for blood tests, ultrasounds, and also take fertility injections. So I was really a risk taker because the cancer that I had was estrogen and progesterone positive, and I decided to inject myself with fertility drugs And I said, you know what? I'm not giving up hope. I'm 38. This is one of my dreams to have a family, and I'm doing it. So I did. And after 2 weeks, we went through the egg retrieval procedure, and I retrieved about 13 eggs. And actually, I didn't retrieve it, but the eggs were retrieved from me with the assistance of all the medical specialists. And then I decided to freeze some eggs and also create some embryos because freezing of eggs at times can be experimental, and I just wanted a guarantee. And the thing is I'm single, but I decided to go for both options just because I wanted to keep all the doors open of what lay ahead in my future to have a family, basically. So I did my fertility preservation. Then I went through chemo, and the one thing I really did is I shared my story on social media. And when these things happen, people are like, "What can you do? What can I do?" And I just told people what they could do. I said, you can support me by visiting me in the hospital, bringing food, sharing your DVDs, gifting me Tim Hortons gift cards for me to buy tea at the hospital. And I was very specific about the type of support I needed, and it was amazing. People delivered. I think there was only one time at a chemo session that I didn't have company. I had constant visitors at home. I even had Facebook friends I had never met who visited me at home and brought me food. It was totally amazing. It blew me away. I received gifts from India, from the United Arab Emirates, just from everywhere. It was worldwide support. So, as in terms of my experience, I would say that if you need support, just ask. There's no harm in asking because you'll be surprised on the results that you get. So I successfully completed chemo. I had breast surgery, and then I finished with radiation. And now that was September in 2012, I finished treatment. It's now April 2013, and it's been 8 months that I've been out of treatment. I feel fantastic. I'm getting back into my exercise routine. I'm working out, I'm meeting people, and I have a renewed sense of life, a zest for life. Like, I'm very excited. What has cancer taught me? Cancer has taught me to live life to the fullest, to do everything that you want to do. So for me, if I died tomorrow, like, I've died doing everything I want to do. I've traveled the world since the first cancer experience. I have, my own place. So 2 months after finishing the second cancer treatment, I moved into my own place. I'm living by the water. It's very peaceful. I go swimming nowadays. And in terms of the tools I used really just to get through it all was the power of prayer, of vegetables and fruits, and really focusing on an alkaline diet. That really helped me a great deal, and green juices. And, just going within and meditating. And that really grounded me because, when you fear cancer, it controls you. But when you let go of that fear, uh, and you don't have any fear, it really just sets you free. And remember, we're of the spirit, not necessarily of the body. So that's something to keep in mind. And I wish you all luck in your cancer journey. And there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Just have faith, and you'll make it.